Do you want to get more consistent out of the sand? In order to do this, you're going to need to learn how to control your low point, which is therefore your entry into the sand, and make that consistent, so therefore you get the ball coming out the same every single time. So guys, today we're taking a look at how you can control the low point in the bunker and what's the importance of it, okay? So low point control is critical because obviously that's the area that you're going to enter the sand, okay? And the depth you enter the sand is also very, very important, okay? If you're altering your low point entry and the depth you're coming at, your consistency is going to be virtually zero, okay? So what I'm talking about is when we talk about low point control, if I just have a look here to the side of the bunker, draw a simple little line in the sand here. If I'm moving about from side to side like this, the chances of me being able to hit the sand in the same spot are quite limited. That one I was back here, there's too much on the back foot. This one, I'm in front of it because I'm moving forward. And then when you're moving from side to side, that's a big problem, okay? Because there's a swaying action. Now what we're looking at is where we want to enter the sand, okay, behind the ball, but we don't want it to dig, we want it to be shallow. So these simple principles should really help you achieve this, okay? What we're looking at is a little bit of extra flex in the left knee, not miles, but that means that can become solid. So you feel that that stays in place, okay? And as you're playing the shot, you're not moving around that. So you're kind of staying nicely in one spot. The next thing that we're looking at then is, okay, because we're doing that, we're going to let the club hinge, okay, but on the way through, let it re-release underneath, okay, arms are finishing quite near to you, but your pivot is moving with your arms. Your arms aren't just doing all the action, the body is doing it, and you aren't moving from side to side. The big bit as well is that if you get your weight in your heels a little bit more, if I get in my heels, I'm shallower, and if I'm in my toes, I'll be steeper. So the problem with the toes is it will cause me to redistribute my weight back. Therefore, I could end up thinning it as well as fatting it. So if you end up struggling with that bit in your bunker, that could be a reason for it. So weight a little bit towards the heels and keeping that left leg a little bit more solid are two key points. And then secondly, I'm going to try and feel like my spine stays in one position here. So I'm rotating around it, let that club hinge and then work back underneath on the way through, splashing the sand with the back edge, trail edge of the club. So the trail edge feels like it's working under and splashing through the shot. So what we've got here is got that little bit of extra left knee flex kind of in here, open that face just a little bit for this shot, okay, and then what we're trying to do is feel like the spine stays in place, and on the way through that shot I'm just going to make sure I stay in place. I don't have a really wide follow through because it's not a super long bunker shot. Okay, so that wasn't a bad shot, played that one quite nicely, quite a shallow entry point, hit it out there, it's just ran out just a few feet past the hole. Now what we're wanting to do there is, as you can see, it's just getting that club to come through and slide and pop under. I'm going to control the length of my follow through in this particular shot for me to help engage more loft and bounce because it's a shorter shot. If I was playing a longer shot, the width would be wider, but the principles of where my weight are would remain the same. So if we just play one last shot here, what we should be able to see is that playing it just near the side of it. In fact, let's do this how we'd always do it, okay? Let me grab this rake 1 second. I was about to make the error that I tell all my students off for, okay? If you're going to practice out the surface, you're going to find, okay? I was just about to hit one from just next to there, just out of convenience, but this is now how I'd expect to find the bunker, okay? So there. That's hopefully something like the lie I'd find. Okay, now I'm going to practice from the same situation. So I know I'm practicing out of an area of sand that's going to be similar to what I'd hope to find on the golf course. Shuffle the feet in, kind of keep that left knee where it is, kind of get that feeling for that low point control, going to get that feeling of just moving that body, keeping that spine in place, nice and shallow. Okay, so there we are, just letting it just pop out the bunker there, just drove that forwards a little bit, didn't quite work it under, but it wasn't bad at all. This is the key. Practice how you expect to find it on the golf course. Learn that low point control by keeping yourself centered, okay? Spine in one position, weight a little bit nearer the heels to get that shallow angle of approach, and make sure you aren't swaying from side to side. They're the three principles that can help you control consistent bottom of the arc, and then with the length of your follow through, you'll be able to control what the height and the loft of the shot's going to be. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks a lot for watching, and talk with you again very soon.